Hey everybody, it's Gamer Gramps here. Today we are playing a religious science game with the Greeks. As always, we are on DD difficulty, but we take things slower here so that new players can follow along, and hopefully you can learn a lot that you can then take back to whatever difficulty level you happen to play on. So if that sounds like it's something that would interest you or help you out, then definitely stick around. If you want to get good at Civ 6, subscribe and hit the bell to keep up with this channel. Alright, so clearly this isn't the first episode of the series. If you do want to catch up, if you missed out on anything, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner where you can do so. Other than that, we are going to jump right back into the thick of things here. Now, we've just secured our fourth golden age. We're headed into the industrial era now, so let's take a look at our dedications and we'll kind of make a decision from there. So we have, in my opinion, there's only two choices for us to have, but we'll go through all four here. Starting with to arms, because it's the one that we're obviously not going to pick 100% of the time, as we're playing a peaceful science game, right? So it obviously is just going to help you if you're planning to go to war and playing a domination game there. It's a nice one to pick. Now, Hick Sunk Dracones is another one that we're obviously not going to pick because it'd be a complete dumpster fire. +3 to starting. Population for cities settled on a different continent other than your first city. We've settled every single city that we're going to settle in the game, so that's useless. +2 movement for naval and embarked units. Okay, that would be decent. But and +2 loyalty per turn for cities not on your original capital's continent. Well, we're not having any loyalty issues, so there's nothing to worry about. So again, that one is basically a big dumpster fire, and we're going to avoid it. The real choice is between these two right here: reform the coinage or heartbeat of steam. So reform the coinage. It says that your traders cannot be plundered. International trade routes provide +3 gold per specialty district in the foreign city. So that is very, very powerful. We're going to take a closer look at this in a second here, but first let's touch on the Heartbeat of Steam. So Heartbeat of Steam Golden Age, +10% production towards industrial era and later wonders. So that's sort of a non-issue for us because there's only one wonder that we're going to build, and we already have enough chops to guarantee that we finish it. So we're not, like, that +10% really isn't going to make or break anything for us. The only part of this that we're considering is Campus District Science Adjacency Bonus provides production as well. So essentially, we need to make the choice, and we're going to get out of this and actually look at our cities here, but it comes down to making a choice between gold or production, right? Because we only have eight trade routes that are going to be active. I don't foresee us, maybe we get one, possibly two at the very most, more trade routes throughout this time, but even then I doubt it. Like, we're basically going to be shutting almost all of our cities down and having them just do campus research grants in order to help us win the game faster. So, like, I really don't think that that's going to be something to even take into consideration, and we just have to basically do the math on according to us having having 8 active trade routes. And now what's also going to factor into this, and why I'm probably not going to pick it, like, as tempted as I am, as much as I want that gold, you have to consider too that we just sent 2 of our trade routes, so like 2 of 8, right? So 25%. Hey everybody, Gamer Gramps here. I'm quickly interrupting just to say that if you're enjoying the video, please do me a favor and leave a like on it if you haven't already. It does really go a long way towards helping the channel get discovered, and clearly, you know it by now, I'm special. I need all the help I can get, right? Of our trade routes are now internal trade routes because we had to boost the population growth in this city up here fast enough so that we could get our buy our district when they reached population 4 in order to get our wonder, right? So that means that we really only have 6 trade routes that bonus would apply to, because if you take a look at it, right, like it's only international trade routes provide +3 gold per specialty district. So now we're down to 6 trade routes, which is, you can kind of see where I'm leaning. I'm not going to pick it this time. If we were at 8 or more, I would definitely pick it. And we literally just sent those. So if those trade routes were going to be expiring in the next, 10, 15 turns, I might consider it. However, we're in it for the long haul, basically. Like, if we take a quick look here, you can see the nearest one, we have 2 that are ending in 6 turns and 7 turns, but other than that, is not going to be anytime soon, so we're not going to get a lot of advantage out of that. Other than that, though, you can also see easily here, if we pull up our policy cards, that all we have to do to figure out the production bonus from the Heartbeat of Steam dedication is to look at our the 5-year plan one right there. So we are getting plus 31 science, which means that we'll get plus 31 production boost from that Heartbeat of Steam, and so that's the one that we're going to go with today. Again, if we had all 8 trade routes going to international destinations, I would definitely pick that, because I think the gold boost is really important in order to help. We're going to be buying a lot of things now that we're entering into democracy here in a couple turns, so it would have really come in handy, and I would have prioritized it over the Heartbeat of Steam. However, for the reasons we've just been over, let's fucking do this, and we're going to pick the Heartbeat of Steam here. So we'll go ahead and confirm that. Other than that, let's just jump right back into things and continue along. If you do need a little recap as to where we were from the last episode, we literally just finished launching our Earth satellite right now. We are going to go ahead and immediately jump into the launch moon landing. We got 14 turns on that bad boy right now, but we will be able to shave that down as well, considering that in 2 turns we'll be going into democracy, and then we'll be chopping out our royal society here that we've been waiting on. We got Magnus already established and good to go, so that will definitely help us out as well. And meanwhile, we are also now going to go, we have 3 envoys here that we've been waiting to spend until we got to the next era, and we are going to be taking Hong Kong away from Victoria. The reason being is that their bonus says your cities get plus 20% production towards city projects. Well, our space race projects are all city projects, so that's why we are prioritizing becoming their suzerain, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. Alright. And you can see that it's cut down from 14 to 13. It's just not showing up yet, that's all. Alright, so meanwhile, let's continue on. We finished the amphitheater in Argos there. That was definitely nice of us to chop out that, to chop out the jungle tile into the amphitheater. It helps give us a little bit more science, and we can always sell our great riders and stuff like we have been throughout the game as well. In the meantime, hold on, so I don't want to get annoyed by them. We're going to put, actually 18 turns would put us at 190. Well, I suppose technically 188. I think, so it's a close call, but we're getting so close to turn 200 now. I think we're much better off going with campus research grants, and then we'll buy the research lab, because by the time that's 18 turns that we're going to spend building this thing, and by the time we finish it, we're only going to get like a handful of turns of value out of the actual research lab itself. So I think we're much better off doing a whole bunch of campus research grants in order to help speed up our science game and help us get off the planet sooner, and then we'll be using gold to purchase that. Especially, it's going to be a lot easier once we get into democracy, because not only are we going to be earning a lot of gold, because we're going to be getting access to different policy cards that really boost our income in the near future. However, democracy itself also has an inherent 15% discount on purchasing anything with gold, so we will definitely take advantage of that and milk it for all it's worth. Meanwhile, too, for gold, we're saving up money here. So we finished our research lab here in Sparta as well. We are immediately going to go ahead and fill up our campus and make sure that's there. And then in the meantime, just get them started on the campus research grants. I'm not really worried about queuing up a whole bunch more at the moment, because what we'll probably be doing is going into... we'll be keeping public works on, because we're going to be using my Sene to basically just produce builders to sacrifice to our space projects here. So we'll be keeping that on basically throughout the rest of the game here, and we'll probably get Sparta to join in on that as well, because both cities have reasonably high production and they're close by to where our primary spaceport is, so it just makes sense. Meanwhile, we finished the aerodrome here. Now we really do want to get one on the other territory. Hold on one second here. All we're going to do here, though, is go ahead and put them on campus research grants. Actually, you know what? We'll get them a builder real quick. It's 5 turns. That way we can get... oh, wait. This city... Never mind. I was going to say we can get them powered. But this city should generate them powered once we get more of that oil online. Which reminds me, now that we've expanded to that tile naturally, let's go ahead and do that. And then this is going to be the last cash I spend. You can quote me on that. Because we need to save up. So you go down there. And you go down there. We need to save up money for buying, because we need to buy the library, the university, and the research lab here in Corinth in order to be able to chop out our wonder that we want to. So we're going to be starting to do that now. Like, I'm not really worried about it. I'm 100% confident we'll get there in time, because we have our diplomatic favor to trade away as well, which really helps speed things up for us. Not to mention some strategic resources. Unfortunately, not any to Teddy. I wonder, do you want any coal? Oh no, you have 20. You won't want any more. Oops. Yeah, you don't want any. You're just doing that because you don't have any money left. Meanwhile, let's check Pachacuti and the rest of them and see if their situation is different. See, so he'll take some niter, so we'll definitely give him some niter. He'll probably also take the 20 coal, come to think of it. So let's see. Yeah, he's definitely interested. So we'll clean up his bulk gold here, or at least most of it. There you go. Perfect. All right. Beauty. If you've learned a lot from my videos, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. There's 3 different choices that you can choose from, all for different prices. But for as little as $5 a month, you can help to make this channel successful and ensure that we continue to put out videos that you enjoy. All right, so like I said, I'm not worried about us getting back up to, I think we said, I did the math, I think it's like 2,600, right? Because it's 1,500 and then 850. So that's $2,350, and then it's like 300 and change. So yeah, I think it's like just over $2,600 we need to save up. And then 2, we also need to, sorry, before we do that, I forgot, there's one more thing. We also need to upgrade our units to tanks down here in Hong Kong. So let's actually get our units to all step backwards here. Or at least our chariots, because we need our chariots to be in friendly territory in order to upgrade. So we're definitely, obviously we're going to be waiting until we get the policy card to get the discount before we do that. So it'll be a lot cheaper. But in the meantime, we'll just get that builder to go to sleep and wait. And same thing with these units here. Alright, so again, here in these 2 cities, we are going to be chopping their campuses out and then buying everything else for them. In the meantime, though, yeah, we can just go ahead and get you down here. Yeah, might as well go ahead and chop that immediately and put down the campus. And then we actually... we should have placed a bet that that's lots of money I'm going to spend. I forgot we want to secure this oil here and make sure that we get our hands on it. So speaking of which, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to delay settling their campus here since we need to buy tiles anyways, but I'd rather save money. Let's get this Wales up online, which will actually allow us to then trade off Wales, because that's our second copy here, I do believe. Yes, it is. So we, if we can find somebody interested, we can go ahead and trade that off. Of course, we're not going to be so lucky, right? We can trade coal to William, though. He actually has some money for once. Oh, is he so backward that he's not interested in coal? You prehistoric frickin' simple bastard. Alright, meanwhile, let's check Saladin here. He's prehistoric too. Alright, so in the meantime, we can sell whales to him, and he does have money, so let's see if he's interested. A little bit, only 7. That's not a whole lot of interest. Oh yeah, I think I already checked Gilgamesh. Pretty sure we checked Pachacudi. Oh no, we didn't. But we should be able to get gold per turn from him if he is interested. So 10 is definitely better than 7. Let's quickly check Teddy here and see if he's interested as well. And he's interested too. Alright, so because we want bulk gold, we'll wait until next turn. And we'll trade it to whoever has more money between Pachacudi or Teddy. Because we'll take all their bulk gold. So speaking of which, let's... Oh, never mind. It's not the next turn yet. I'm getting excited for nothing. Meanwhile, with our last build here, we'll go ahead and put down a Cathokial Mound.
I have always considered that the substitute...
All right. So, this city's 1 turn away. We are going to... Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, we do still have a chop. Okay, good. 1, 2, yeah, we can reach that. 1, 2, and this city can't reach that. Okay, I was just checking to make sure we still had a chop because I want to... We're going to put down an aerodome here in order to get the boost for rapid deployment. We have to have an aerodome on a 2nd continent. So we're going to place it and chop that forest into it. So meanwhile, you were going up there to do that. You can actually come back down because this builder can go there to be ready to build that oil. Alright, meanwhile, we finished our coal power plant here in Mycenae. So like we said, we are basically just going to turn them into, whatchamacallit. They're just going to build builders for us, and that's like literally all they're going to do for the rest of the game, essentially. Alright, so we finished an entertainment complex here. That is nice. And again, we are shutting down this city, basically, and now all they're going to do, let's just make sure that they're working their campus, which they are already. Okay, that's nice and good. So now we're just going to shut them down and put them on campus research grants for the rest of the game. So here we finish our aerodome, and again, we just want to make sure that our campus is full. Ooh. Oh, shit. We only have a library here? Alright, well, we definitely have some purchasing to be doing here. We need to get them up to speed, so that's fine. At least I brought that to my attention. I can't believe I overlooked that. We'll lock the citizen in there. How much would it be for them to build their university? Probably, 7 turns? That's actually doable. We'll put them on production focused as well, as they're over 10 population now, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, so meanwhile here, you can go... I guess we don't really care about the niter anymore. We'll go there, because eventually we'll chop it. Alright, so we got all that fixed up. We still have 1 charge left with this guy, so I guess let's go over there and build a Cathokia mine. Or Cathokia mound. I keep calling them Cathokia mine, like this whole fucking game. But anyways, we'll get this oil well up online, and then next turn we'll have that one up online, and we should be able to get ourselves some tanks pretty soon.
On this earth lasts forever. Men, their rights, and nothing more.
We have
their rights, and nothing less.
We finally made it to democracy and suffrage, so let's go ahead and switch to that. Alright, so this is very powerful for us. You can see here, your trade routes to an allied city provide +4 food and +4 production to both cities. Alliance points with all allies increased by an additional 0.25 per turn. So that is going to come in handy. That's why we've been sending all of our trade routes from the one city that's going to be building all of our space projects at first. So this will really help us get them done faster now. And again, we're going to also have the whistle banking policy card in here. So we'll be getting +6 food and +6 production in that city, which is going to help us. Which is going to help us if we look at it. Yeah, so we're 11 turns out there. It's also going to help us get to our population 13 here. I don't know why we're still negative. Our housing is good. Oh yeah, it's just not reflected yet. So see, look at that change. So we were 26 turns away from starvation prior to democracy, and now we're 7 turns until growth. It just hasn't visually changed in there yet. So that is good. Again, the reason we're waiting for this city to get to 13 population is so that we can build them an encampment district, which the encampment district will allow them to get 15% more production on space projects once we slot a certain policy card in. So we'll definitely be wanting to take advantage of that. Meanwhile, okay, so we want to upgrade those tanks before I forget. So we're going to need to find... we'll get rid of levy en masse, and we're looking for force modernization. So that'll take care of that. We're keeping our science plans in. Whistlebank and Merchant Confederation is staying in. We only have our spies defending now, so there's nothing to worry about there. We have public works in. We want triangular trade, aesthetics. We're definitely putting in New Deal. This is what I was talking about as well, where we're going to be getting +4 housing and +2 amenities to all cities with at least 3 specialty districts. So that's really going to help all of our cities grow to 10 population, which we want them to get to in order to really take advantage of our rationalism. So that's going in there. And then we're going to quickly slot in public transport now. We've been waiting for this for a while. That's why we were getting all those farms. So now we're going to take advantage of it. So you will see here just how powerful this little card can be. If with a little planning and foresight, we're going to earn ourselves enough money here to get quite a bit of purchases. So we'll slot that in. That's going to be a temporary one. We're literally going to switch out of it the very next civic we get, and we won't be going back into it for the rest of the game. However, the Trade Confederation is only going to get us +1 or +6 culture and +6 science now. So I think what we're going to do is slot in Raj here. We get +2 science, culture, faith, and gold. Alright, had to take the dogs out and get a coffee there, so let's go ahead and confirm this in. Okay, so we completed that. Nice. Alright, so our spy friend here is ready to go. We are going to counter spy, and we are going to protect the city center in order to make sure our governor is safe there. The last thing we want is to lose out on the 30% production boost we get from Pangala. Alright, so meanwhile, let's go ahead here and take a look around. Alright, so we got $900. We need to, now that we have the upgrading policy card in, let's go ahead and get a tank here and a tank there. Brings us down to 61 gold here. So now I'm going to quickly show you the power of that policy card we talked about, the public transit one. So, like the one right here, where you receive 100 gold per appeal of the tile when replacing a farm with a neighborhood. And that's why we went around and we planned ahead of time and built these farms in each of our cities on the main continent that had nice appeal. I'll quickly go through it now. I'll show you one of them quickly. Like for instance here, you can see we're building a builder. All we do is come here and we're going to drop down a neighborhood district, and we're going to confirm it, and we got $300 for replacing that farm with a neighborhood. We don't have to build the neighborhood now. We're going to immediately jump right back into the builder. So there you go. That's one city taken care of. Now, I'll edit this out, but I'm going to just go through and literally do that in all of our other cities that we have these farms in, and then we'll come back with the total afterwards. All right, so there we go. We got that taken care of. So we got $2,800 for doing that. Now, I included this little tidbit in a recent tip video that I did, and some fucking idiot and I'm sorry, I try to be polite, but no. Some fucking idiot was like, oh, I've been playing Civ 6 for years, and you know what? I've never done that, and I do just fine in my games. That's a stupid tip, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, that... There's no point. He's never done it, and he's been playing for years and done just fine. And it's like, all right, well, that's fine, man. Just because you've never done something doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Like, look at 2,800 gold we just got from that. So that is literally all the gold we need to come over here and buy our library, our university, and a fucking research lab instantly in one turn in Corinth. Right there, just from doing that little, like, building a few farms throughout our cities on the mainland as we were playing the game earlier, and then switching into this policy card, like, 2,800 bucks with basically zero effort involved on our part. And we can actually make a little bit more here, because I realized when I was going to do that there is one tile I forgot to switch into a farm. So after we do the chops here this turn, we'll get this builder to go over there, switch that farm, or switch the mine for a farm, and then we'll get another $300 to $600 depending on the appeal. I think it'll be $500 because it is breathtaking. However, so yeah, and it just fucking stupid is stupid. You can't cure stupid. But anyway, enough about that. Let's move on here. So again, remember I screwed up earlier. So in whatever city that you put your government plaza, you always want to save yourself 2 chops. So preferably 2 woods, or a stone and a wood, or a deer and a wood, or a wood with a deer on it, however you want to do it. You want to save 2 good full chops, because rainforest doesn't count because it's half food and half production. So we unfortunately here are going to not be able to complete this in one turn. But again, we just got democracy on this turn, so we are immediately going to come here and we are going to buy our royal, or not buy, sorry, we can't buy it, build our royal society. So we'll switch into that. So again, if you save those 2 chops ahead of time, you can do this instantly in one turn. However, for us, it's going to be unfortunate. We'll still have a couple turns to go because we won't have enough production, even with Magnus in here. However, before we go ahead and chop, let's just double... And see, this is why I always say, measure twice and cut once. And so always check that the tiles are belonging to the correct city here when you go ahead and do that. So... Otherwise, we would have screwed this up and ended up chopping out a builder and then been waiting even longer for this frickin' Royal Society. Anyways, let's go ahead and chop that now. And we can get rid of these stupid pins because now we are chopping it with no problem. So we'll chop here, and we'll probably have like 3 turns, I guess, left on the Royal Society. So again, you know, I know 3 turns it isn't that bad, but really, if you think about it, again, everything is down to the very minute here when we're trying to get under 200 turns, right? We're at turn 171 already, so we only have 29 turns to play with as far as flexibility here, and that's a 3-turn difference, right? So if we would have been able to chop this out this same turn here on turn 171, we would have immediately been able to come over here and sacrifice a builder in order to boost this. We would have got it down from 9 turns down to 7 turns on turn 171, and then every turn after that, again, been able to shave more and more time off, whereas now we have to wait until turn 174 before we can cut any time off of the project. Again, I know it seems trivial, but all these little things add up, right? And so you want to try and stay on top of them. So here, meanwhile, though, we don't have to move Magnus. I normally would move him right away. However, we still need to wait for 3 more turns here before Moksha can buy us our campus here, and then we can buy until he can buy us our campus here, and then we can buy all the buildings in it, and then 5 turns later, when Magnus is established there, we will chop out the Munson Scott. So let's, we have 8 turns to play with. Let's count out our culture and see what we're working with here. Alright, so 7 turns in rapid deployment. Once we boost that, that will be 4 turns. So 4 turns, and I think 4 turns, so 8 turns. So I think that will work out properly as long as we boost both of them. So let's take a quick look at that. And we will be boosting both of them. as long as we can get this done in time. So we are going to change up. We'll go to advanced ballistics. So let's check on this. Build 2 oil power plants and 3 armies, because it's going to take us an extra turn here. And I know we have the money to buy this stuff, and we'll get it back again. So we are going to spend a little bit more money here. We're going to upgrade this chariot to a tank. So that gave us the boost to composites. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's afterwards. Never mind. It's not helping us right now. But then next turn here, we'll have this boost. We'll boost them up to a field cannon. This will form an army here. This is our second army. Because remember, we have our militia. We have our musketman army sitting here ready to go. So that is our second one. And then next turn, when it comes back to us, we will convert all 3 of these tanks into an army, which will boost our other thing here. Now for advanced ballistics, let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, so we want to move this to converting to oil power plants. So 3 turns away there. We'll get them off of food production, so hopefully we can shave it down to 2 turns. Is there any tiles we can give them? Yeah, let's give them a mine. I suppose we could give them this 2-2 tile. Oh no, they won't work it anyways. That's fine. So, oh yeah, now that we're done, let's go ahead and do that right now too. Before I forget, let's search for all of our temples. Greece temple. All right, so we just did that one. We want to unlock. Remember, we went ahead and locked in two people to each of our temples. We want to make sure that we unlock them all now that we're done with that era. No, I don't want any of you to fucking work in there. And we want to put them into our campuses. So let's go ahead and do that. Put your third one in there. Unlock you. Unlock all 3 of you. Alright, we didn't have it done in this one, so that's fine, and we are locked into our science, or into our campus, I mean. Meanwhile, here, we'll unlock you and move another citizen into there. And then, so, I'll quickly edit this out, but I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce around to every single one of our cities with the campus and make sure that we have the maximum number of citizens working inside of our campus, is so that we're generating as much science as we possibly can throughout our entire empire. So I'll edit that out so you don't have to deal with it. All right, so we got that done and taken care of now. Not a crazy ton of difference, but we're up to 801 science, which was, I think, about 20 more science we ended up getting by the time we went ahead and did that. Meanwhile, here now, we'll go ahead and get the builders to go back into place and wait for the chops. So again, we're going to be killing our armies here. Like, we're definitely 100% going to be killing the musketmen next turn. However, down here, what we'll probably do is wait until Arabia makes peace with them. And then after Arabia makes peace with them, then we'll kill our units down here. Because ideally, we'd like to block off these 2 tiles so that they can only approach the city by 1. And that should give them... They have, what, medieval or Renaissance? Medieval walls right now. Hopefully they get some Renaissance walls soon, but they should be able to take care of themselves without us having to babysit them. However, because that bonus is so important to us, like that plus 20% reduction is huge, right? So we definitely want to do that. Meanwhile, here we're up to 7 population now, so we're going to go ahead and put our aerodome down. It doesn't matter where we do it, because we could only put, like, we would need 2 districts next to this campus in order to give it another adjacency bonus, so it doesn't make any sense for us to worry about where we're putting this. We are putting it there. Let's just double check, correct, that the forest here is in this city, so our chop doesn't go to waste. We got it down to 4 turns. That's nice. That 4 turns is the boost we need to put towards rapid deployment there, which is going to unlock the Amundsen Scott research station for us. So everything is coming together quite nicely here. Yeah, nobody cares. Alright, so let's go ahead here and... Oh, I hate when that happens. Look at this. The science doesn't work out. So we haven't boosted it, but even if we do boost it by getting 2 oil power plants, the science isn't going to work out. So we might as well just hard research it. Like, there's 0%. There's no... Or wait, I shouldn't say that because I'm not sure. Hold on. We're going to test this because I'm not sure whether our science gets applied. Like if we boost this and there's only like that cunt hair there that we need to get, I'm not sure if our science carries forward into our next technology. I'm not like, yeah, I have no idea whether it works that way or not. So let's see if we can find out, shall we? Let's take a look at combined arms. Alright, so we're about to get this boost right now. Let's see if it's the same. I think it will be, because I think they're the same amount of science for each of those, right? 1480 and 14... Yeah, so this should work out. Alright, so now we're going to go here. This will be our 3rd army. Okay, which gave us the boost. So even though we don't see it right now, we have the boost. Right? Yeah. So it's just a visual glitch right now. So let's see if this works. I don't think it does, but we'll try and see if it does. And meanwhile, what are we, 2 turns out on that oil power plant? Or no, 1 turn. Okay, yeah, so next turn we'll get that boost as well. So that's why I went and switched it, like, because we'll get this boost next turn, but we won't get it until the turn starts. So I want to make sure if we do get the, if the science does carry over, since it's only like a tiny little bit that we haven't got, I want to make sure it carries over into a technology that we need. Because, like, see here, it would go into advanced ballistics, and it would go into ballistics before we got credit for the boost, which we're going to get next turn anyway. So this way here, we'll at least, by queuing up synthetic materials, we at least know that if we do get the boost will go into synthetic materials and not be wasted, essentially. Alright, meanwhile, we finished an encampment here. How lovely for them. We'll just get them to start on a barracks next. Again, there's no big rush. The only thing that we are going to be chopping in this district will be this forest tile here, so I guess we should actually get the builder to move over and get ready for that. But we'll probably wait until we're chopping it into the military academy or something, just because we need to have that flat land cleared for the spaceport. But that we are still a ways away from that. Meanwhile, yeah, there we go. There goes that. Now, I'm not sure how experienced you are at all, so what I'll do is I'll put a link in the top right-hand corner right now. I have a series, it's up to 5 videos now that have 5 tips in each video in order to help newer and intermediate level players learn the game better, and all 5 tips in all of these 5 videos will help you. You can start incorporating them into your gameplay today, and they'll really make a difference. They are across a wide variety of the game, so it's not all just focused on one specific angle. However, if you do want to check that out and it sounds interesting, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner. Other than that, though, we are going to put a cut in the video here. I am trying to keep these things between 45 minutes to an hour if I can. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and leave a like on the video. It does go a long way towards helping a small channel like me get discovered. Better yet, leave a comment down there below too. The engagement helps, but honestly, I really just like getting to know you better, and that's probably what I enjoy the most about this whole fucking YouTube thing. But anyway, I've rambled enough for this video at least, so I'm just gonna shut up and I'll see you in the next one.